Welcome to another episode of Creative-ish. We are your hosts. I'm Ariana.
And I'm Kelly.
And today we have an episode about trust, regaining trust in yourself and your business. We decided to do this episode today because I think maybe this past year has been a little weird as like a result of the upcoming recession, as a result of the pandemic, things changing.
There's a little fear in the air. There's stuff in the air.
Yeah, the forecast, it's cloudy with a chance of recession. And all of this talk on the internet, I know that it can bring up a lot of fear, especially as a freelancer and as someone who doesn't have a steady income, a steady check coming in every month. You kind of just might feel overwhelmed with everybody saying that basically doomsday is coming, the economy is horrible, and that nobody's going to pay for like high ticket products and etc. So yeah, we've been feeling that, and we've also seen it in people in our community, other business owners that we've been talking to, that they've also said how, you know, things are slower, maybe goals that they had, or even goals that we've had that we hadn't been able to achieve this year. And all of this can kind of cause you to feel hopeless, or cause you to feel stuck, cause you to feel like a failure. And this episode is basically like a conversation that we wish we would have had a couple months ago, where me and Kelly were both feeling kind of like at a pressure cooker, like the pressure was building up and we didn't know like what was going to come next. There was a lot of uncertainty in the air. And this is just like what we wish we could have said to them back then. And also a conversation that we can listen back maybe in the future if those feelings come up again, where we start to feel like we're losing trust in ourselves, starting to lose hope, then we can come back to this episode and, you know, maybe feel better about it.
Yeah. Be happier. No, yeah, during these times, it certainly feels like the world's on fire and we're here screaming, does anybody want a logo? That's how I'm feeling. Does anybody want a website? But, you know, sometimes really what is needed is to switch your mindset around a little and not fall into that trap of fear mindset and fear mentality, because then it's like, then that's when you lose hope, and when you lose trust in yourself, that is where you're defeated.
Especially when you start to act out of fear. I think you lose your vision a little, and you start to like forget your why. You start to do things that maybe you didn't want to be doing before, but since you're in like this fear mentality of trying to survive, I think that you kind of like lose yourself in the process a little. We're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can regain your trust, things to do, things to remember, etc. We believe that like trust is like the foundation of your business, your confidence, and everything else. Once you lose that trust in yourself, it's kind of like game over, because nobody else is coming to give you validation, tell you that everything's going to be okay. You're kind of just taking like this blind leap of faith every day. So it's really important to like not lose trust, not lose that vision. So yeah, this is kind of like our advice for that. So number 1 is to look at your past and find moments where you felt really excited, that you had lots of success coming in, that you maybe had lots of money coming in, that everything was working out in your favor. We've all had those moments. No matter how big or small, you must have a moment in your past where you felt really proud of what you were doing, that you felt really proud of what you were accomplishing. And when you're starting to feel like you're starting to lose hope in the business, in yourself, in your abilities, it's always nice to kind of like look back at those moments and let that be like the evidence that you can do this again, that you can get those results again. And, you know, it's not a one-time thing. We like to reflect back at a specific months in the business that we've had where wow, there was so much money coming in. There were so many clients. We were so excited. So many opportunities. And we kind of like to reflect, like, why were those things happening to us in that moment of time? What were we doing? Like,
how were we showing up?
How were we showing up? Like, try and get data from why did that happen to you then? And is there something that you're missing? Is there something that you're not doing anymore that you kind of just left behind? And yeah, reflecting on those moments in your past where you know that things were really good and kind of just like journaling about it. Like, why did that happen then?
And another thing we like to do is create a praise folder or a Notion page, basically to feed your ego a bit. Nah, I'm kidding. But yeah, just like a folder or a place where you have like all the nice comments, all the nice messages from people you've worked with, people who have seen your content, who have resonated with your stuff, and just really encouraging words so that when you're feeling a little bit down, you can look back at it, read those again, see them, and really like think of yourself, wow, what I'm doing really resonates with people, and I've gotten great responses in the past, so why can't I get great responses again? So yeah, just keep a folder with all of those nice comments and all that nice goodness. And I'm sure that'll make you feel better whenever you're feeling down or feeling like the world's on fire.
Yeah, it also helps you not feel alone. And especially testimonials are so nice to look back and read, like what you were able to offer that client once. It kind of just helps you feel valuable. Like maybe in those moments where you don't have client work and you feel like useless, maybe it's nice to look back and see that what you did for this person was really valuable for them and it affected them in this way. It's really nice to remember that. And it just kind of like boosts the trust in yourself. It kind of like boosts you that so that you want to continue creating those testimonials in the future. Now, number 3 is to journal about why you started your business in the first place and connect with that why again. Sometimes we can get like really lost in the day-to-day things. We kind of just like feel like, why am I putting so much work into this if I'm not seeing immediate results? Like, what is the point of this? Like, I'm not going to get anywhere. So it's always nice to look back at the beginnings, like the really, really early days. How did you feel back then? And why did you decide to start this? That's always like a good reminder to have. And specifically for me, when I started Artist Studio, I was 19, so I was really young and I still had like this innocence in me. And, you know, I had this dream of having a life of freedom, of like being able to work anywhere and kind of just like be more empowered with my schedule, my time, and the work that I do. Like I wanted to have more power over that kind of stuff. So that was the dream that I had back then. And sometimes, like even today, I was remembering, yes, I'm doing this for her. This was her dream, like that little Ari. She was 19, she was young, and she wanted this big vision to happen. And I'm just like, I can't give up because that's what she wanted. And that's what, like, I want to make her proud. Like, I want to make that little girl proud. And if we go back even younger, like I started graphic design when I was like 16. And just looking back at all those moments where I was watching tutorials on YouTube, not really knowing that this was going to be my job or my work, but I was still like putting in the time and putting the effort. Like, I don't want to give up for them. Like, they remind me why I need to keep showing up and why I'm doing this in the first place. And it's just kind of nice to look at your younger self and kind of just like know that you're doing this for them. Yeah.
Yeah, like your younger past versions. Like your 19-year-old version, your 16-year-old version.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Sometimes Ari and me, we talk about how we wish we had like footage or videos of us in our first graphic design class ever. because there was just so much excitement in the air. There was so much that we were learning. And by the end of the class, we didn't learn that much either. But it was just like everything was so new. Like I remember opening Adobe Illustrator for the first time and Photoshop for the first time and being like, this is horrible. I don't understand anything. And again, with like looking at what you've achieved, but like I like to apply that to skills as well. Like back when we didn't even know what or how to use these platforms, and now we're fluent in them in some ways. And there's a lot more we can do and there's a lot more we can learn, but it's like at least we understand them now. And you know, with the Adobe Creative Suite and as well as with a lot of other skills we've gained, it's just been amazing to see how much you can learn in such a few short time, and by just putting yourself in those situations and learning more.
And just kind of like seeing your timeline from a bird's eye view of you once kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And now you're doing incredible things. Or maybe you're kind of like getting your way out of that suckness. Like you suck a little less every day.
Yeah.
So it kind of just makes you look at, if I give up now, like I'm risking not seeing the evolution that I could have 5 years from now. Like if I improved so much in these last 2 years, imagine what can happen in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you just kind of have to trust that you need to keep showing up, even if you aren't seeing like the immediate success, the immediate money, the immediate clients. It's all about the journey, guys.
And the tip number 4 that we have to share with you guys today is to see opportunity in failure. Last week, we went to an event that we actually mentioned in our last podcast that we were going, and in our newsletter. Subscribe. And that event was called Fuck Up Nights. And it was like they brought these 3 entrepreneurs and they talked basically about their fuck ups and their failures and their business journey and all of that. And it was just so inspiring to see these 3 women, because they were 3 women entrepreneurs as well, talk about their failures and how their failures set them up for their next step, and how their failures were a stepping stone into getting that other thing that they didn't even know they needed or wanted or had to do. And it was just so inspiring just to listen from these women. And it really validated, I think, how we've been feeling a bit, because there's like so much fear. For example, at least for me, I feel like Addie is a little bit more immune to that. But for me, it's like, oh my God, I have this fear of failing. But you know, when you're a business owner, you're an experimenter, and some experiments go well, some experiments don't go that well. So you have to be okay with failing sometimes. And so really looking for the opportunity in that failure, analyzing the failures, looking at it from a bird's eye view, as Addie was saying, gaining some perspective, looking at what I could do differently, how can I iterate, and yeah, there's always something to learn in your failures, truly. And one of the speakers that I absolutely loved, she was a little bit older, like she was a very seasoned entrepreneur. And like she just walked us through her entire life, basically, since she was a student. And it was so crazy, like to see all the ways she pivoted, all the ways she created new stuff.
Like how she reinvented herself so many times.
It was crazy. And it was just like, that is amazing. And this woman is, well, older, and she was just saying like, I wish that the universe could give me so many more failures and so many more years to fail, because that will mean that I'm moving forward and that I'm learning and that I'm doing stuff out of my comfort zone. And that was like, wow. Like, if this lady, first of all, is such a huge inspiration, like, if she's saying that she wishes she had, like, a very long life just to fail and have new opportunities and iterate on that and improve on that, it's like, you know, we need to get comfortable with failure and get comfortable with looking and analyzing at those failures and iterating upon them. So it was just a huge mindset shift for me in that word fail or failure. And it just changed my perspective completely. And another thing she said was that she doesn't let herself get into that scarcity mindset. And that's why she's reinvented herself and pivoted so many times. And she said that truly the money is out there and you just need to go and get it. How are you going to go and get the money? So don't fall into that scarcity mindset and just, think abundantly and think about all the things you can create to get the money that's out there.
Yes, there are so many opportunities out there. And yeah, she was just saying how she grew up poor, but she never knew that she was poor because her mom would never tell them no. They would just find ways to make money, like maybe selling
raffle tickets,
selling random things or doing little shows, or they were scrappy in a way that, if they wanted money, they just knew that they had to do something different to get it. Now, advice number 5 is to let go of the outcome. Trusting in your ideas. Sometimes when we have big ideas, but we don't know what the outcome is going to be, it feels like we see the idea as this huge staircase, for example, and we don't know where this idea or this staircase is going to lead us. We see it really huge, and the top of the staircase is all blurry and fuzzy, and we can't really understand what's on the other side. If I invest this much time into this staircase and this project and this idea, what exactly am I going to get out of it? Sometimes that is not really clear. And honestly, as an entrepreneur, you will never know 100% what you're going to get from investing your time in this or in, whatever you do. So I think that, with the whole staircase analogy, you're never going to know if you're going to succeed or if you're going to fail on the other side of the staircase. You just have to continue taking that next step. And, taking that leap of faith is trusting in yourself, trusting in your ideas, trusting in your commitment, trusting that, you do have what it takes and you can do whatever it takes to make this idea successful. But it's just kind of focusing on the next step that is in front of you. What is the next thing you can do to move your business forward, to get this project seen by the right people, get the right clients? What is the next thing? And depending on how confident you are in your ideas, in your business, in yourself, how much confidence you have in yourself, that will determine how far you go in the staircase. Because if you start to lose confidence and you start to backtrack, then you're going to lose it all. So it's really the trust in yourself that is going to get you through rocky, shaky times. It's going to be what gets you through the whole journey.
You just have to be focused on that next step and frankly not get overwhelmed with all the ways we can do things, because there's a million ways we can potentially do things. So that was the 5 tips that we have for you guys.
To recap, number 1 is find evidence in your past that you are able to achieve success, that you have had moments where things have gone your way, and that you can do it again.
Number 2, build a praise folder with nice comments, nice messages, so that you can look back on it and, feel good and trust yourself that you're on the right path and you are doing things that matter and that resonate with people.
And if you don't have praises from other people yet, write yourself love notes.
Exactly.
That's cute. The 3rd tip was to journal on why you started your business in the first place and connect again with that why. Connect with that younger version of you that you want to make proud.
And step number 4 is to look for opportunity in failure. There's always something you can learn from your failures, something you can improve on.
And number 5 is to let go of the outcome and just taking that next step that is in front of you and stop overthinking how are things going to work out. Finally, I just want you guys to remember that there is space for you and realize that what you provide is valuable, that what you bring to the table is unique because you have a unique point of view. Your passion is unique. Your purpose is unique. your why, your commitment, and your focus, those are all unique to you and nobody can really replicate that. So trust in your internal power, trust in your ideas, trust that you are valuable and that what you bring to the table is valuable, because it is. Yeah, I know that trusting in yourself can sometimes feel like a muscle. Like, I can't trust in myself if I don't have the evidence right now. So try and focus on the tips that we gave you today. Know that it's just a journey. Sometimes you will have moments where the evidence is running low, like, where is my success? And other times you're going to feel like you're on top of the world. Like, that is life. Ebbs and flows, up and down. But you just have to have like this internal little ray of hope consistently, because that is the only way that you're going to get through. So yeah, a little life motivation here. That's all we're doing week by week.
Again, maybe these are things that you have heard before, but they're good little reminders. They're stuff that we do constantly to gain more trust in ourselves. So we hope that you guys implement this.
By the way, guys, a little side topic, but we have to let you guys know that we launched our new website template. It's live. It's called the Danny website template, and it's specifically for creative service providers. So people like social media managers, photographers, designers, fashion stylists. You really have to check the template out to see like the vibe, but it's really cute. It's really cool. And we are so proud of it. So check it out and see if it's a vibe for you.
Yeah, the template was a labor of love and we loved creating it and we're absolutely obsessed with it.
The template is different because it's modular. So you have like 70 plus canvases to choose from so that you can make the website unique to you. You can mix and match. You have multiple options for your services page. You just have to see it for yourself to know what I mean. Yeah. But it's really cool and we're so proud of it. So yeah, go check it out at artiststudio.co/Danny.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for watching Creativish. This is a brand new channel on YouTube, so subscribing, liking the videos, and commenting goes a long way. If you want to keep listening to us, you can watch any of the other videos we have on this page.